This man is a bus driver, a husband, and a father. In 2005, he helped to create Syndicate, an independent trade union representing 17,000 bus workers in Iran's capital city, Tehran. His name is Mansour Osanloo. Osanloo and his fellow workers led protests that increased bus workers' pay by $50 a month. They persuaded employers to provide work clothes and got casual workers signed to 2-year contracts. They argued for $40 childcare allowances to be paid to women workers. These were not anti-government actions. Nevertheless, today, Mansour Osanloo is detained in the notorious Evin prison in a North Tehran suburb. Here, Iran's political prisoners are kept and tortured. Some have paid the ultimate price. Over the last 2 years, Osanloo has spent more time in than out of this prison. He has been beaten, and during one attack, his tongue was cut as a warning. Osanloo was most recently detained on July 10th. He was abducted from one of the Vahed company buses. His wife tells the tale.
We were waiting for him to come home and have dinner, and were getting concerned as time passed. There was no response from his cell phone as we called it, and it was then that 1 or 2 neighbors came over and told us that Osanloo had been put in a car and taken somewhere. They said Osanloo was on a bus which had stopped for a traffic light. Suddenly, a Peugeot 206 car swerved in front of the bus. A group of people jumped out of it, boarded the bus, and took Osanloo out of it. The only thing he managed to do was to shout his name to the people around him.
Witnesses said Osanloo was badly beaten by the thugs. It was 2 days before his family knew for certain that he was alive and in prison. This most recent detention came 3 weeks after Osanloo was allowed to travel outside Iran. In June, he joined fellow transport workers at the International Transport Workers Federation in London and told them that international support for the union struggle was crucial. He travelled to Brussels to meet the International Trade Union Confederation and other world trade union leaders. Throughout the trip, Osanloo spelled out his mission, that of raising the salaries and improving the lives of his fellow workers. Following this visit, and in response to a complaint brought by the ITF and the ITUC, the International Labour Organization, a UN agency, urged the Iranian government to drop charges against Osanloo and to grant full trade union rights. Iran's people are beset by poverty. Huge numbers of workers, including bus workers, are paid less than they need to survive. Yet this is a country that has the second biggest reserves of oil after Saudi Arabia. It makes and exports cars. Iran's port of Bandar Abbas imports huge quantities of manufactured goods from Korea and Thailand. Major trading partners include Japan, Germany, France, Italy, and the UK.
We are not singling out the Iranian government on this case. Rather, they are singling themselves out from the rest of the world by detaining people like Mansour Osanloo in jail. And as a member of the ILO, if they fully comply with the principles of the ILO, the government would massively improving their public relations with the rest of the world.
So while Osanloo's fate waits in the balance, internationally, the eyes of the labour movement are on Iran. On August 9th, workers in 38 countries took to the streets to highlight their support for Iran's independent trade unions and to demand the freedom of Mansour Osanloo, as well as fellow trade union prisoner Mahmoud Salehi. This coordinated trade union action was also supported by Amnesty International. In London, the ITF General Secretary presented the Iranian embassy with a petition demanding they release the trade unionists. Simultaneously in Tehran, 5 more bus union leaders were detained as they went to attend a rally at Osanloo's house. Trade unions and human rights organisations worldwide strongly condemned these arrests.
These people need to be given the right to organise trade unions democratically in a free way within the Iranian regime.
This global action sent a strong message to Iran's politicians and galvanised solidarity amongst transport workers. The 5 million members of the ITF family are spreading the word in their workplaces and in the streets. Support for their campaign to free Osanloo grows each day.
My union's organizing a very big demonstration, organizing about 1,000 of members in the front of the Iran embassy. We are unionists. We are not dealing with political issues.
It is vital to keep up the international pressure. The ITUC, the ITF and their members are determined that for Mansour Osanloo and Iran's trade unions, freedom will come.
Thanks for your time for me and with solidarity forever.
Demonstrate your solidarity. Fight for Osanloo and for freedom for all of Iran's workers.